Hello, everybody. It's Friday
Hiya.
again. Another
You
Sefton
okay?
Paranormal ghost talk, chat, night, whatever you want to call it.
Whatever
we
you
all
want to
doing?
call it.
Yeah.
You all doing all good? Hi, everyone. When it comes up with myself texting, it says Sefton Paranormal. I'll put Pam with an X so you know it's me and not Aaron's sending your kisses to everyone. I'll send some now so you know it's me. There you go. So, what did you think of The Conjuring? I'm so sorry we've had to delete and everything. We didn't have Aaron with us, and it was a long night. We'd only just flown in the day before, hadn't we, Di? And drove up that morning. It was a long day. We looked absolutely shattered. But we did get quite a lot of stuff in there, didn't we, Di?
Yeah, definitely.
Which we were quite happy about. So Aaron did his best with the editing. So I do thank you for that, Aaron. Thank you a
Yes,
lot.
thanks, Aaron.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Like I say, it was. It reminded me a lot of the old days, to be honest with you. The early SPI days when we used to run around with the camera, and we'd just put it onto record and just go and see what happens. And that's basically what happened in there. Everything you saw there wasn't scripted, and it was real, and it was what it was.
It was. And I was very exhausted, Janet. I really was. We all were, weren't we?
Yeah.
It was the first time, that was the first time that I'd picked the car up that morning and we drove over to Rhode Island, which took us 5 hours instead of 3.5 hours. But we did it. We got there, didn't we?
Yeah. But it was a long day, wasn't it? And then it was more or less grab something to eat very quickly and then get to the house, wasn't it? So.
Yeah. I think it's high 5 or high 10 to the spirit. Yeah, to the driving over there, Daya. But I was going to say the spirit box to me was amazing.
Yeah, that was quite profound. Some of it, wasn't it? I mean,
really.
The cursing and stuff that was coming out of it.
I know.
That was strange. The electromagnetic field energy as well. The way those REM pods were behaving were just insane.
Weirdly, because when we first got there, they allowed us to arrive about an hour early because we'd come a long way and everything. We were exhausted. We just wanted to get in. And I put my hand up. Alan said to me, "Have you got everything, Pam?" Yeah, I've got everything. I totally forgot the camera because I don't usually have the camera, and I did. I totally forgot it. The only pack I had was my rucksack, and I forgot to pick the other one up. But we ended up. It was okay in the end, wasn't it?
It is what it is. You did what you did, and that's the end of it. It's in the past now. There's nothing you can do about it.
No.
The important thing is for me, you had paranormal experiences in
we
there,
did.
And,
As soon as we entered the house, hand on heart, with my new T-shirt that Peter and Jill are designing for us. Thank you very much. Aaron did the design, and we sent them over to Peter, and he's doing them. But going back to walking into that house, myself and Diane walked in first, didn't we, Di?
Yeah.
And we lovely two ladies, the mum and daughter, that were opening the house to us. And I walked in towards where I think you might have heard me with the library bit, to plug something in, and I felt the whole house vibrate. It was unreal. Nobody else felt it. You felt it afterwards, didn't you, Di?
Yeah, it was like I was on a ship. I just couldn't. Yeah, it was totally weird.
It was, and she said they don't usually get it downstairs, but they get it upstairs. But sometimes that is when you're invited into the house. So I think they did. It's like Lorraine Warren said, some people can go in and live in that house and don't feel nothing, and some people go in there and they're not liked.
Yeah, well, we get that. We get that over here as well.
Yeah, we do.
End of the day, over here, we always say this: you can't switch it on. It's either you're getting paranormal activity or you're not.
Yeah.
And I think as a spectator watching in on this and sort of putting everything together in the edit, I definitely think you had some paranormal experiences.
Yeah.
Is it the most haunted building in America though? You've done two. What was more scary, this or the Hinsdale?
Hinsdale for me.
Hinsdale for me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was more intense at the Hinsdale. I think
Yeah.
because our senses were more awake. We were more awake.
Yeah.
So our senses were more awake. So, but at the Conjuring, I don't want to call it the Conjuring because, as we've called this episode, the
The house
house
that inspired.
inspired the Conjuring
Yeah.
film. So I'm going to call it the farmhouse, the Arnold farmhouse. I just reckon because it was a nursery as well, wasn't it, for children? And I think there was only a couple of children that witnessed things. But I did get a lovely warm film from it. I didn't feel frightened walking through it in the dark, going to the toilet or anything. It just didn't really scare me. But a lot of people go along and just have a different experience than what myself, well, I can't speak for anybody else, from what I did.
I didn't like the staircase.
No, you didn't, no.
No, I didn't like the staircase.
Was that because it was steep, maybe? Was that one
Don't know,
going
it's
up or
just
going down?
both. It was just, it was the one by the kitchen, the staircase by the kitchen that led you up to that bedroom. I
Yeah,
did not like that staircase. I just felt like I was being watched.
yeah.
I think Diane's hitting the nail on the head there. Is it more
Being
hype around
watched.
the Conjuring house? And you run into this problem in England. So obviously, again,
Yeah.
I wasn't there, but there's this sensationalized. I can't sensationalized.
Sensationalised.
And I do believe because you've got the film The Conjuring, you've got Ed and Lorraine Warren, who in their own right are absolutely, brilliant people that have hundreds of these paranormal cases that they've investigated across America. The stigma behind what they've done,
Yeah.
a lot of it was demonic and stuff like that. But you have to take everything with a pinch of salt, because when it hits Hollywood and goes into a blockbuster movie, it's got to be entertaining, it's got to be frightening, it's got to hit a certain threshold. And I think that expectation beforehand and then going into the build, you're always going to feel an element of disappointment from it. 100%.
Yeah.
Look at what's the place over here? A really good example, because they put the fear of God into us, didn't they? Before we turned up, was at East Drive.
East Drive, yeah.
Yeah, East Drive. We went in there with rosary beads. We were calling all four corners in and doing all kinds of protection, because the guy that owned the building put the fear of God into us and said, look, you are going to have a paranormal experience. And for myself personally, I was fast asleep by midnight in East Drive.
We were the first people to go in that building. Bill asked us to go in and experience it. And he sent me this piece of paper, didn't he, with everything that had been, because we didn't really know anything about the house, did we, or anything?
No.
And it was a strange experience. It really was. The only thing I saw was some beads on the wardrobe move.
Yeah.
But that's talking about something else, which we'll go back on. Should we carry on with this?
So just back onto that point of sensationalization,
Yeah.
sensationalizing things. We have a good term in SPI. We call things Scooby Doo houses. And when you take the mask off and you get to the sort of the crux of things, it's not necessarily what you read about and what you hear. I'm not disputing Ed and Lorraine Warren or the poor family that lived there, what they experienced, because it's highly believable.
Horrendous.
It's most likely quite probable as well, definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
But to the extent that it was portrayed in a blockbuster movie, I highly doubt it would have been to that extent.
No,
it probably
I
would have been
think-
stretched out over a longer period of time as well, I imagine.
Yeah. Chinese
I think-
whispers.
I think they wanted to make it. I think the house was worse than the film, and I think there was something about it where they couldn't make it as bad as it was because of viewing.
Yeah.
Because I think rates the. Go on, sorry.
I was just saying, if you look at the property, you look at the property age, you've got nearly 5 centuries, haven't you? It's a colonial. It's like a colonial sort of New England type building.
Yeah.
The first thing you're thinking about is witch trials and early settlers in the country. You've got a couple of civil wars. You've got all kinds of history associated to that type of property in America. Anyway, on top of all of that, you've got all the Native Indian history as well. There's a lot going on for it. There's a hell of a lot going on for it.
And you know what? One thing about it that is documented that is meant to be. It came up on the ghost box, the spirit box, which I am over.
The what was surrounded by soldiers or something.
Soldiers are buried in the wall, and that is that is documented. That there is it seven or five soldiers buried in the walls?
Are they still there?
I tell you the truth, I don't know how.
But surely they would have exhumed them, wouldn't they?
I would say I don't know.
So is that in the lower levels in the basement end or in the, well, it would have been, wouldn't it? I imagine.
Like in the basement, it was very noisy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We could hear the odd like shuffle, walking, like bits of talking, but again, because of the noise of the boiler, couldn't do anything about it.
No.
But it was still an interesting night. And we survived it.
Yeah,
Pardon?
it was creepy. It was creepy down in there, isn't it? Wasn't it, in the basement?
Yeah. Well, go on.
I was going to say, as we started the night, we went down the stairs, didn't I? And we opened the door, went down, and we heard a little girl go, "Hello."
Yeah.
It was clear as day, but we didn't have the camera set up because we'd only just, and she was greeting us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
again, it'd be like other properties we investigate over here in terms of it's split on levels of time. So
yeah,
you know, there could be several entities in the building associated to different time periods.
Yeah,
you know, and then potentially then that's when you sort of, because there is an underlying dark theme that hits with why have your cameras gone all funny?
Ian's just come on.
Oh, bear with me a second. Right, I need
Hello,
to fix it.
Yeah.
Hi.
Are you all right?
I'm good. Ian, are you?
Not so bad. Oh,
we've got a late comer.
Yeah, Ian, just bear with me, mate. I'll sort the camera out in a minute.
Okay.
The cat there, really great investigation. Differences with you is that you went in with an open mind and experienced lots, or analysed things rationally, and that's the important thing. If you don't add that element of rationale to what you're doing, you're going in there sensationalising stuff and saying, "Oh, it's haunted." It's
hysteria, isn't it? It just automatically you think everything.
Yeah, and
one of them, and you just grab women.
One of the main things we want to portray in this channel, we're not doing what we're doing for likes and clicks and subscription, all that sort of stuff. We're trying to bring you the real thing, literally the real thing. Sorry guys, just bear with me. I'm just gonna sort these cameras out because Ian's ruined our cameras.
Sorry.
That's all right. Don't worry.
I'll go through these. Fortress Fab, thanks Diane Stringfellow. Anthony Sweeney, tonight was interesting. Janet Sweeney, was the flashing lights lightning? I will tell you about that as the night goes on. As we go through the footage, I'll explain to you, Jan, about them all. Thanks, Jan. There's my sister, Janet, and Pamela and Diane. You both did very well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Diane, do you think there is more hype around the Conjuring house? I think it's been well done. It's well documented. It truly is haunted, and what the Perrin family went through, I would never want to go through. I wouldn't want my family to go through.
No.
And I think it's again going back to what Lorraine Warren said about you're accepted or you're not accepted, where we didn't even mention Bathsheba's name, did we? No. She took a fancy to the dad. Sorry.
Oh God! You sure that's not Bathsheba?
Yeah, right. In my house. Okay. No.
You never know. She might be coming to say hello.
You followed you home.
Literally.
Yeah. Oh, what was that? Stay. Don't move. Don't move. I don't know what happened then. I wouldn't want my family to go through what they went through. I really wouldn't. But because she took a fancy to the dad, obviously she's going to affect the whole of the family. I have got her book that Alan bought me for my birthday, actually. I'm still halfway through it. I've not finished it yet, which is very interesting.
Yeah. So, hi, Ray. Good to see you, mate. Glad you're here.
Ray.
Yeah. Should we jump into it and go over some of this footage, shall we?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Right, Ian, you're all there now. You're nice in sync, so everything should be fine with that. I just need to add you. Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Aye.
I just need to add you into the video review as well.
And I've got earphones.
You do,
Woohoo!
and I don't think you're breaking up either, which is thanks to Anthony Sweeney. So,
Oh yeah,
thank you very much,
Anthony,
Anthony.
thank you. I've got it running through my lounge at the moment into my office, which I'm not very pleased about. But Aaron's going to come and sort it out for me.
I am. I'm just gonna fix these cameras here, and then we'll be good to go, guys. So, Mother, if you want to just keep going with Diane Ian for a second.
Yeah.
No problem.
The cat. Oh, thank you very much, whoever you are. The cat. The most honest investigations I've watched you on YouTube. That's really good of you. Thank you. But we are.
Yeah,
we're
we appreciate that feedback. Definitely, it's important to us that's.
We're about the truth. It's more of a documentary more than an episode or a film or anything like that. It's just us being us. We enjoy what we do. We're passionate about what we do. And I will do this every day if I physically could. And I'm willing people to ring us up and say, will you come and investigate? Will you film at our location? Especially in America. I'll be on the next plane out there.
Yeah.
Because we have only done 2 over there. And I would love to do more. There's so many over there that I've been Googling and everything. There is so many places I would like to go. And one of them, which I'm absolutely petrified of, and I hate even saying the word, I'm going to say the Shining Hotel. Okay, it's just a flaming hotel. That film I cannot watch. I don't watch horror movies anyway, but there's 2 films I can't watch. One is the Amityville Horror, and one is The Shining. And I know Rick Park and Steve Hayes from True Ghost Stories. They went and filmed there. And you know what? It is on my bucket list to do one day if they would accept us.
I'll have to watch that episode. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that.
And what Sarah Robinson said, I'd like to see Pamela, SJ, would like to see Pamela scared. I think that is one location you probably would see me scared. Because the film will be in my head, the music will be in my head, Jack Nicholson's face will be in my head, and I would just be gone. Even though I love the man to bits, he's a fantastic actor. He scares me. He really does.
Here's Johnny.
Oh, you took the words right out of your mouth, Aaron.
I know. Yeah, it's in Colorado, isn't it? What is it? The Stanley something hotel, is it?
Oh, come on, everybody, help us out. Is it the Stanley or the?
I can't.
Something like that, isn't it?
I'm Googling.
That's a bucket list, and some of the big American sanitariums would be pretty cool to do as well. Because if you think, sorry to interrupt you there, Mum, but in the sanitariums, I can't talk tonight.
Stanley Hotel.
Stanley Hotel, that's it. Yeah. The psychological element that you'd be fighting serious psychological panic. I'd be freaking the hell out walking through those corridors in sanitariums in America. They're nothing like they are over here.
No.
Oh, Diane, there, I'd love to see the Amityville house. That's another one. I think that's a private house now, though, isn't it?
It is. We were going to stop by because we're only like 30 minutes away from it. Where we were driving from JFK through to Rhode Island, but we just didn't get time to go to Long Island, did we? And at the end of the day, it's a private house. You don't want people outside taking photographs. And like they've changed the windows and everything so people don't recognise it now. And there's trees and everything, which I don't blame them. It's their personal house.
I think there's a fence up round it now, isn't there? So you can't really see much of it anyway.
No.
Do you guys investigate anywhere in the UK? Yes, we do. We've been up and down the UK.
Top to the bottom.
15 years.
Yeah.
Pardon?
I'm saying from the top of the country to the bottom of the country.
Yeah.
All over England. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, let's get into it. Ian, you've gone robotic, mate. You're a robot.
I am a robot.
Exterminate. That's what you say. You sound like a Dalek.
One. Aaron, I'm talking again, aren't I? Sorry. About the Halloween episode. What we're going to do for Halloween.
Yeah.
For the next 2 weeks, after tonight, we have got Southport, which I'm really looking forward to doing. And after that, we've got a fresh one. I'm hoping to speak to somebody to see if I can get into this house. I know. for Halloween. And it'd be a good one. And I can't say very much. Sorry, guys.
I always feel like the private houses always the ones that have some pretty significant activity in, don't they?
Yeah.
We'll touch on all that later, though. Let's get into
crack
the meat and potatoes of this episode, guys.
Can move in. They'll break slow.
Let's skip this intro.
What do you mean? My voice not good enough, Aaron?
No, your voice is lovely.
No, I don't think so.
So straight into that REM pod activity, I think.
Look in the doorway.
I mean, that was just insane.
Please, while we speak to you.
Jill Hanlon, I love that investigation. Can't wait for next week's. We'll have to watch from Lanzarote. Jill,
Oh, brilliant! Yeah.
I'm really, really, really glad you enjoyed it. And yeah,
Have a nice time.
Have a very nice time in Lanzarote. I'm slightly jealous because it's raining.
Me too.
It's horrible here right now.
Jill, Peter, this is my son, Aaron.
Hello.
She's the Pete's wife who did the t-shirts.
Oh right. Oh brilliant. Oh, the brilliant, top notch. Really appreciate the work you do there, guys. Much appreciated. Oh, yeah. Right. Anyway, back to this REM pod activity. It's insane.
Step away from the lights, please. Would you like to come and speak to us? Yeah. Do you care?
The voices you can hear in the background that's Alan and his friend talking.
Have you got the ball?
I'm going to go get the
Oh,
ball.
what?
I've got
Where is it?
I've got one here. Do you
You
want
got one?
Just gonna skip it forward a little bit.
house vibrates?
That's Julie yawning.
Right, then put straight box on. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, there was one point when I was editing this, I genuinely thought you were falling asleep, Mum.
I wasn't. I was watching the floor.
No, I get it. You jet lagged as well.
I
You know.
had 5 hours sleep in 4 days,
know,
wasn't
I
it,
know.
Danny?
Oh,
Yeah.
So whatever this energy is in this room at this point,
Candle.
completely overwhelms the REM pod and kills it.
Yeah.
So we'll.
Take every colour on the candle. Light them all up for me, please. Do you want to speak to me now? Do you want to speak to...
We'll just
Pam, 14.7.
So that's 14.7 milligauss, which is exceptionally high. Just to give you a baseline of what we consider high when we're investigating anywhere, anything over 5, I'd say, would be significant. 14 and over is that was more than the Heskin.
It was. It was just near enough off the scale. It was right over.
Yeah.
It really was.
Yeah.
It felt so intense in that room. That because where Diane is, when I was saying before, I felt the house was vibrating. I was just in that doorway, and you hear me say about that room. People say that room's a portal, and it was just as if the whole house was just like shifting.
I could potentially,
Really
you could back that claim up slightly with the electromagnetic field. 14 milligauss is
It was
ridiculous. I think
intense. Yeah.
Eskin Shopping Centre, it was over 10.
Yeah.
If I
Yeah, we got to
remember
11
correctly.
on that one, didn't
Yeah.
we?
Yeah. So 14's high. I'd expect manifestations at that sort of strength.
And I just think because we were tired as well, and I think if we were more awake, we would have been more eager. Maybe there was stuff around us that we didn't see, because as we were editing this, Aaron, we were hearing stuff that we didn't hear. And when I've just watched it back again now, there's something else as well.
Yeah.
And that's what I like, because that's why I like doing these lives, because people can tell us what they think as well and what they can hear.
Yeah, exactly.
On the spike, 14.7 on the spike.
God.
That's massive
That is
energy.
huge. Wow. Do you think we're witches?
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, Katie's going ballistic as well.
Yeah.
Right, so this is perfect. This is what you want, right? You got the K2 going off, the REM pod going off. You've got 14 milligauss on the reading on the mel meter, and at the same time, that spirit box replies to the question you've just asked, and it all just goes in hand. I say it every time. It still ceases to amaze me. It really does.
Yes. Spirit box is amazing.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Yeah.
No,
Can everybody hear the yes, or do you think it's something else?
Yes, you know there's something, but tell us your name.
Aaron,
Yeah.
just stop it there a second.
Yeah.
Did everybody hear yes, or do you think it is saying something else?
We'll put it back to it.
What's your name?
Oh, Robert.
Yeah, definitely female, and definitely a yes. Yeah.
Oh, hang on a minute. Am I going forward here or backwards?
Forwards.
Losing the plot today, guys.
Well, look at that.
Yeah, everybody's in.
Push the ball down the staircase.
Come on, speak to us. Give us your name.
Not that hard. Push it down.
Go.
Two syllables. Go home.
Yeah. Sounds like go home to me.
And again, you would probably get a frosty reception of the spirits are from a colonial period anyway, because of the Civil War against the British. So
They didn't like the British, did they?
no.
Oh, we could get into a debate here, couldn't we? About let's not go there.
Hard. Push it down.
And what's interesting with that, the tone and the voice sounds exactly the same over multiple channels.
Yeah.
Which is a massive inconsistency anyway. Like, you wouldn't get that. Because if you think about it, say there's 10 radio presenters across 10 radio stations, the voice would sound completely different on each one.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, definitely.
Go. Well, witches.
Yeah, right.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah, Katie's got bliss up as well.
Yeah.
Right. Did you hear music?
Katie's got bliss up as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mad.
Yeah, Katie's got bliss up as well.
Yeah.
Please tell Aaron.
Yeah, so there is music. It's coming out the radio. You got that.
Hello, John.
That music sound. Then you have the K2. Then you have the REM pod. And so on. Oh. It could have been worse. Last week, Jacob nearly streaked across naked, didn't he? So when he got out of the shower. Yeah, Anthony. Yeah, definitely classical music, mate. Definitely classical music. But it goes in a sequence.
Oh no! Sorry.
Bloody hell!
I know, because that's just cause I didn't hear that. But in that room at the back, Diane, isn't there what's it called, a gramophone?
Yes, there was.
And then she said sometimes people hear it being played.
Yeah.
No, we didn't hear that being played. I didn't hear it on the edit. I've only just heard it now.
That's a big ask, thinking that it could be the gramophone. I'm going to completely debunk that straight away and say it's coming out the spirit box.
Right, okay.
Not to.
Sorry, I'm just getting excited then.
No, 100%. If that gramophone goes, like, out of experience, when, like, for example, when we went on the ship, Ian, do you remember at the ship? It takes a hell of a lot you've got to twist it to get it started, and the amount of noise you'd hear from it, you'd pick it up on the camera, and you guys would definitely react to it.
No, we didn't hear it, did we? We didn't hear it at all.
Yeah, Anthony sounded like Spirit Box to me. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
No, we're not
Clear as day, yes.
We just believe in life after death. Yes, you know there's something, but tell us your name. It's Hugh. Hello, Hugh.
I thought she said.
It's you.
I think it was trying to be polite then.
I think it's that swear word.
I think
It
it's.
is.
I think. I think it's definitely the swear word. What's interesting
just-
about it as well? It's got like a New York accent to it as well, and you're in the
Yeah.
state of New York. Like it's. I mean, obviously, I suppose that's not really that big of a deal considering you're in New York, but definitely says. It definitely says that.
It does.
I think
What about
so.
everybody at home? Do you guys hear that as well? Let the lag catch up a little bit because I think there's a bit of a lag on the stream.
Oh, it's the yeah. Okay.
Um,
Can you still
Yeah.
hear us, everyone?
yeah, Anthony said defo, so he heard it.
It's you. Hello, Hugh.
Jill heard it as well.
Hugh. You're
What made me laugh? You thought it said it's Hugh.
I know. I think I was trying to be polite.
Yeah, that makes sense.
old.
Oh, okay. So this bit you were talking about a few minutes ago with the surrounded by soldiers, and
Yeah.
again, that you've got to understand when that radio's scanning through the frequencies that it's scanning through, it's going across a multitude of radio stations at about a millisecond per sweep. So for a voice to travel across that many radio stations in that period of time, it's just not physically possible. And
I know,
to have
I know.
to have a voice to carry like that, it's just it just fascinates me.
You're old.
You wouldn't be able to do it, but you would be able to. It carries on the ether.
What's that, Ian?
Transmission rates, you wouldn't be able to do it because it's too fast.
I don't know why you're so. Hang on, let me turn you up. Say that again, bud.
Transmission rates, speaking through
Yeah.
transmission rates, to be too quick for that. I believe it's like on the ether. It's floating on the surface of the, if you like, electrostatic fields, and that's what's coming through.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Right, there we go.
Surrounded by soldiers.
And that sounded New York as well, didn't it?
Yeah.
You're old. Surrounded by
Shoulders.
So I don't know if you've researched it or not, Mum, but we should probably have a look to see what sort of if there were any military battles in that area. I'm almost certain there probably was.
Yeah. It's more the fact is there was it's documented that the soldiers buried in the wall.
Yeah, well, it says everything, doesn't it? Just
It
backs
does.
it up. Yeah, Kat heard it too. Anthony heard it. Janet heard it. Jill heard it. Everybody heard the same thing with
Yeah.
that. So that's
soldiers.
good validation.
Yes.
That's Alan
And
whispering.
soldiers come up before, you know, Pam on the Alice box. Can you give me your name now?
Right, this is an interesting one. This is for all you budding paranormal investigators at home.
We couldn't make
'cause
up our mind, could we?
we couldn't make our mind up. We have a couple of ideas what we thought it might sound like, but we don't know for certain.
I'll leave it up to you guys.
So let's debate amongst ourselves what we think it is. So let me get it back.
Let's say
My
stop
name's
it.
No time.
Let's say stop.
It is something time.
Got no time.
No time.
There's no time.
Let's say stop.
That's what.
I've titled it my name or my names because that's what I was thinking. Interestingly, we've got Anthony said George, which is definitely in. I think one of you guys at the time, we'll check in a minute, said George, and I thought I could hear George too, but I thought I could also hear Stuart, which is what Jill said.
Oh yeah.
George or Stuart, one of the two.
But I heard time, about time or something like that.
So it sounded like to me. There's no time or something.
Can you give me your name now?
Let's say
My
stop
name's
it.
George. Can you give me your name now?
No time.
Let's say
My
stop.
I've got no time.
No, I'm not hearing that at all. I'm hearing my name. But it sounds like he's got like a southern slang rather than a New York accent. Almost sounds like Forrest Gump. Well, obviously, it's not Forrest Gump, but that you know, that rough, like that thick southern, like Georgian accent.
Yeah. Janet Sweeney says I've no time.
Yeah.
My name's George. My name's George.
It's so hard to decipher, isn't it? I think I can hear my name and then something, George or Stuart. I'm gonna go with that. What you guys gonna go with I've no time?
I've no
Sounds
time.
like to me.
Or time related.
Yeah.
Oh, leave that one on the fence. That's fine by me.
You're
Yeah.
talking about soldiers surrounding the place, no time to escape. You know, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. Adam, I've no time. Adam said that as well. So quite possibly.
I said something, stop it.
Can you speak clearly for me?
Yeah, like Kat's just said. Then spirits have limited time to come through, and yeah, they definitely do. Sometimes as well, if you ask a question, they might be responding to a question from a while ago, and it becomes out of sync then as well. Sometimes, doesn't it? You were talking about that. Was it last week? You'd ask time. Yeah, and that's something we need to get better at. But when you get excited, it's difficult to do. Is ask a question and then give X amount of time for the spirit to respond.
Yeah, we were at Heskin Shopping Village, weren't we? And Alan was asking questions, and it said yes on a child, and it was a man's voice. But Alan asked for, I think it was a man.
Yeah,
lady,
he said, are you
a
child? And then, he said, are you a man? Are you a woman? Are you a child? And then it came back yes in a man's voice. But we couldn't, well, obviously we worked out that it was the man potentially saying it. But if you don't leave a long enough gap, you know, so nail on the head there, Kat, definitely. Again, we don't. There's the excited woo noise, which is great. There's definitely some energy going on with that. The rest of it, I'm not sure. I feel like I can hear another swear, but I'm not certain.
I did as well.
Sounded a bit like. Oh, what was it now? Can you play it again? Can't remember. The shields are up.
Hey.
That was their shield.
Shield what's up? Shields up.
Hey.
Well, like shield walls up.
Yeah, something like that.
Unless that's
Vikings.
Well, where they put all the shields up.
They landed Viking, didn't they? Shield wall.
Yeah.
Fault. Possibly.
Yeah. And Cat, again, to me, it's like a massive hall full of people all trying to use the phone. Yeah, it's exactly it, and they're all trying to tune in at once, and you don't know, it's hard. It is definitely hard to decipher. Adam, wow, the shelter are up. Let's do it again. Potentially, I it's hard to say again, is it? Do we think we're talking to a soldier here? Or do we think we're talking to multiple people?
I think it's multiple.
I would tend to agree with that because I think the whirring noise at the beginning is people trying to transmit in.
Yeah, like other energies
totally agree.
Talking over. What about you, Di?
Yeah, sounds like they could be all wanting to have a go at once.
Yeah.
I really do think that is correct. I think there was more than one, maybe more than 5 there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. All trying to talk at once.
To be fair, 14 milligauss. It's quite possible there was more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And then, so we got Anthony, 2 people, 1 excited, and then another one saying shields.
Yeah.
Diane Stringfellow, sounds like 2 voices. Jill Hanlon, I heard woo, then something about shields. Yeah, I mean, I think I hear shields.
Yeah.
The cat thinks multiple people as well. Then Diane, the shield, and whatever is said after sounds like different voices. Yeah. For me personally, I feel like it's military talk.
Yeah.
Because
Definitely.
it's raw language, isn't it? There's a load
Yeah.
of explicits. There's the woo sort of thing. Like if you're a young soldier in a room full of, like say for example 7 soldiers, mum, like you say, and they're all trying to talk at once and they've all got something to say. That shield wall or the shield something, is that some sort of military slang that was used? Because back then you all had muskets and you'd just walk towards a wall of gunfire. You know what I mean? I don't really know my military terms, so I don't know.
Don't quote me on the 7, but I know it's multiple.
Yeah, well,
Something is telling me it was 7.
yeah. Interesting. It's interesting that we've all come to that same
Agreement.
conclusion as well. I definitely think multiple as well. Yeah, cool.
Hey.
Yeah, Diane. Yeah, it does sound military, maybe young soldiers. Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah.
It's got like a cheekiness to it, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
agree,
Like a tongue-in-cheek type.
Yeah.
The mummies has died.
Yep.
You've got to think as well, Christianity in America's... I mean, obviously, Christianity's big here too, but over there especially, it was like... It's ingrained in the American values, Christianity. And what you guys are doing would be perceived as witchcraft. It'd be perceived as witchcraft over here at one time, but
Yeah.
I feel like over there it'd be even more so frowned upon, do you know?
Step back. If you're in the doorway, can you touch the ball on the stairs?
Right, gonna skip
That's
ahead
got to be-
just to the REM pod dying.
Can you pull one of our hair?
Now, on any investigation, have we ever seen that REM pod do that? Because I certainly
No.
haven't. Mum?
It's asleep.
Mother?
Oh, look at my face. No, not to that extent. I haven't. No.
It's
It's
insane.
going wild. It's going wild, isn't it?
It's turbulent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, does
What-
that mean there's multiple people holding the REM pod?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They all
I
want to
wasn't
be
as-
heard.
Isn't that the temperature bulb on that one though?
It's all going off, Ian.
everything.
The temperature's going up and down. The actual proximity lights are going off. Everything.
Didn't see all that. Must have been shut my eyes for a minute or two.
Yeah, I'll watch. Let me show you.
I wasn't asleep, by the way. I was just resting my eyes.
You're jet lagged. You're jet lagged, mother. That's what you need to say.
As Deb would say.
Yeah.
I was all swollen and I needed water.
Does sound military, maybe young soldiers. Anthony, it could be the soldiers in the war. Residual energy. The cat, I think they're trying to tell you it's difficult to come through and time to get through is limited. Shield is up. Okay, so
Sound.
Diane, I 100% agree with you. Anthony, I don't think it's residual because they're acting in an intelligent way. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah,
Yeah, I totally agree.
They're answering your questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Residual.
Residulant Anthony.
Residual.
Go on, Aaron.
No, go on. You.
No, go on. You explain.
So residual energy is just replaying something on a permanent loop. One theory that a lot of people have is that if something really traumatic happens, it's recorded in the fabric of the building or the scene, you know, wherever this
Absolutely.
action happens, and it'll just play on an automatic loop. A good example of that's Bygone Times, when we've investigated that over the years. We've had certain things that will repeat all the time. You know, the horse and cart and that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, going back to bygone times, the very first time we with the looms on in there, we heard the looms going off. We caught it. Sadly, Richie Wright, who's sadly not with us anymore. At the time, we caught it on like a DVD, didn't we? And all you could hear was the looms going backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
That was interesting. So that's like residual.
Yeah, and that's the first thing you're going to look at when you're getting this sort of evidence. I'd say I'd categorise this in about a class C or class B in terms of quality of evidence. Class A being full manifestation or things being thrown across the room, which is very, very rare. Is basically, is it something that's going to be predictable and going to act on a loop, or is it intelligent and answering the questions? And that's what my mum and Diane and Julie and Ellen are trying to decipher, and that's what you do try and decipher as a base of communication.
Yeah.
And you've clearly got that base of communication. The cat's saying the same thing there. Definitely intelligent.
Yeah.
Can we move on from that scene, please?
Yeah, of course we can. Is that you don't want people to see you slacking?
And what? Me slack? I never slack.
I'm joking.
Oh,
Right.
you better happy.
Do you want to come away from this room?
Yeah, let's go.
I'm thinking
Let's go
awful.
to the next one.
Yeah, just to recap, I think the Mel meter goes off and the REM pod dies, doesn't it? Basically, it just drains the battery completely.
Can we go through to see that mirrors? That Julie's face.
I was going to say, in the window.
What the hell?
What?
Nah. Get lost. There's a head there.
Yeah.
There's
Some
two
things
faces.
there. Hang on, let's not jump the gun here. We're not gonna Matrix just yet.
I did turn around and say that Julie's face, but
I see
can see
100%
Diane.
see what you. Yeah, hang on. Let me go back a bit.
Diane on the left, the other girl in the middle. I think Julie on the right, possibly.
Oh my god, it looks like it's blinked. No, that's got to be Julie, has it? Because Diane's got short hair.
Yeah. And the one that's the other girl.
It's just weird how her
I know
she's
what
a
you're
lot
saying.
brighter.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Hang on, let's press play.
You're the little girl from downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It's me. That's
the
definitely me.
reflections.
Yeah, they are.
Bloody hell! I thought. I can definitely see what you're saying because they don't look like normal reflections. It's because the
Even
infrared
Jill's turned round and said, "What's them faces in the background?"
Yeah,
Good one,
Do you
Jill.
want us to play again? Have you rolled the
yeah,
ball?
there's Diane with the
Yeah, we're
K2.
moving. And Julie's
Yeah,
just
don't
moved in the
There's
middle.
Step
there's
back,
Julie and
please.
that's Alan's friend.
Step back.
Oh, shouting out loud, they're all touching it.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
reflections.
Everyone. Everyone. Do you want us to go in? Okay. Everyone.
Shouting
So,
out loud.
just dead quick, this EVP, there's like a weird croak, but because Mum was talking at the same time, it's quite hard to separate the two sounds. So I'll just
Sorry.
no, well, you didn't know it was happening.
Loud, they're all touching it.
Okay. Everyone. Everyone. Everyone.
Again, it's a male voice.
Yeah.
It's a male voice.
Like growl, isn't it? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's skip forward. Not an awful lot happens in here, so I'm probably going to skip this bit. The music box going off. We've had a bit of a debate about the music box as well, haven't we? In this scene.
Yeah.
Something's right in front of me.
Ian, you're probably the best person to answer this actually, because you make the bloody things. Is that music box too close to that door, and is that door triggering that infrared beam to go off?
No, it's approximately 45 degrees either side, so you've got like a wide angle.
Yeah.
And it comes into that field, should be picked up.
Okay.
But if it's facing that way, then it shouldn't go off. But it can go off if you get something strange waving in front of it that's slightly warm.
So when you turn it on and it sets itself, does that mean it sets its boundaries? So therefore, when you turn it on, the laser hits out onto the wall, it'll go off for a second, and then it's configured itself, should go off, then the music box, if it does go off, that means that beam's been disturbed.
Basically what happens is, when you switch it on, the electrical current goes through the circuitry, charges the capacitors. As the capacitors discharge, it settles itself down.
Yeah.
And then you start again with movement around it and so on.
Yeah.
But that's basically how it works. Very simple explanation.
So you don't think that door's interfering with that music box?
No.
Okay.
No.
There we go. I'm quite happy with that answer, Mum, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Because we weren't sure. We were watching it back, and I was like, "Is that door interfering with it?" But
No, the door's shut. It's not moving, and even if it's moving, it shouldn't do, but it may do. It depends on what the temperatures are. So it picks up a temperature change. It's basically thermal imaging.
yeah,
It will pick up temperature as well as movement. So it's
sure, yeah.
This is what we were saying, but we just thought we'd put it out there because at one point I say, is that door just moved? And Aaron said, well, I thought that. And, well, let's see what anybody else thinks.
So we're looking in this crack in the door.
Whoever you are, can you open that door for us, please?
That's Alan's reflection.
Come quicker.
Yeah,
That's good. You come close to it. Go quicker. As close as you get.
Let's give it. Whoa, I'm feeling dizzy. Can you open that door for me, please? If you're in that other room, please open the door.
This way.
Do you know the family that used to live here? 5 little girls and the mum and dad.
I'm not convinced that door's moving.
No,
we're not. No. If you did,
I tell you what I'm convinced about. There must be something in front of that device to make it go off continuously. Because the closer you get to it, the more frequent it goes off.
Yeah.
The further away, just one bleep. The more you get, it starts to play and play and play.
And at the same time, Alan's getting
Melmeter
there as well. EMF energy.
EMF.
So, yeah.
Open that door for us, because I think you're quite an intelligent. Okay, I think you're quite an intelligent spirit.
And while that
Aaron,
is in front of the device, there's also up for the millimeter as well, so it's quite large, whatever that is.
Yeah. Go on.
Obviously, Aaron, you weren't there, and when I turned round and said, "Oh, it's an intelligent spirit," what did you say?
What did I say?
What were you picking up from it over doing the editing?
I'll flat out tell you, there's a dark energy in there, 100%.
Yeah.
But the problem you've got is I haven't been in the building, so from a psychological perspective, I've seen the Conjuring house, so I'm quite familiar with Ed and Lorraine Warren's stories, which would make me form a certain opinion about the place.
Aaron, can we go back to the mirror again? So sorry, I've just totally interrupted you.
Are you looking there?
Yeah, now look through the window.
There.
Next to it, yeah.
I think that's just a shadow casting onto a shadow. And the reason why I say that is because the way the infrared's bouncing back with the lens flare.
Okay. Do something else, step
back. That's you, Mum, I think.
Oh, is it? Back, please.
Yeah, it could be Pam, you in the doorway.
Step back. Yeah.
Anthony's saying the chair looks like it's rocking ever so slightly, but it could be the camera. I imagine it is, because this is all filmed in freehand.
No, step back, please.
Would you sleep in the bed? I would.
Become as friends with me, you no harm.
Back to Mum's point, though, I do think there is a dark entity in there. I do. To the extent of what it is and like the names that have come out of there and stuff, I don't know about any of that, but something. Well, it must, something's definitely out. I mean, murders have happened there, for crying out loud.
I felt more easier on the ground floor. Yeah. I thought that was lovely feeling to it. Yeah, upstairs, I did not like at all. No, the basement didn't really bother me. It was upstairs. It was them bedrooms.
And there's significant history associated with these rooms, isn't there?
Yeah, where the kid was pulled out the bed. Not that room, the other room we were being in a minute.
Jill, I see a face before in that mirror, like it was peeking. Cat, I know I feel evil, also dark, negative spirits. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you. It's got like I haven't even been in there, but you can it's a feeling, isn't it? It's a gut instinct, I think. Don't get me wrong, I go in there, but there's a gut instinct to it. How do you feel it in? Because you've not been in it either.
To be honest with you, I feel quite calm about it. I mean, I'm not saying there isn't something there. Obviously, there is, because the instruments are picking that up. But to say whether it's dark or not, I couldn't really say. But what I would do is I'd sleep in that bed. I'd want to experience what's going on in there.
Yeah, see if you levitate out of it or not.
Yeah, exactly. Because, I mean, it's all about catching the image and everything else. But it's also feeling the presence and the, if you like, the aggression, if you like, of that spirit. Or You know,
Yeah.
to know about it, learn about it, the physicality of it, and that's what I would be tempted to do.
Couple of
Okay.
cameras locked off in each corner of the room, so you've got every angle covered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight in the bed. That'd be a good live stream, that.
It would. Jill's just said, I see a face before in that mirror. It was peeking. It looked like a clown face. You're quite an intelligent spirit.
Wow.
It's difficult because there's infrared light flashing constantly with it. That's gonna, the iris of the camera's gonna struggle pulling any form of focus. So it can look like there's images sort of coming in and out. I mean,
because Alan had a cap on as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do something else. Step back, please.
Yeah, because that's Alan.
Yeah,
Step back.
you can see his cat
And
coming
that's-
around the door.
That's you, because that light there's the
No,
infrared
step
off the
back,
camera.
please. Infrared, yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
the infrared off the cameras that they've got in the building.
Become as friends with me, you no harm.
It was before
Can you
that.
open the door for me?
Back, please. That used to live here.
What's on that door on the left? Where does that go through to?
Yeah.
It was a closet, I think.
Closet, yeah.
That's 'cause you come close to it.
I don't like that
Go
door.
again. Let's go to again.
No, so a lot of people have said that.
Well, I'm feeling dizzy. Can you open that door for me, please? If you're in that other room.
Might have to have a sit and a proper look in that window. I might zoom in on it in the edit again.
Yeah.
And just watch that whole scene back, just see if I can see what Jill's saying.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot going on in that shot there. Oh, she says now.
Oh, I can see something, but I think it's Alan.
I think it's Alan. To be fair, I think it's Alan.
You mean here? No, to the bottom of the screen. The bottom of the window.
On the left-hand side.
Yeah.
On the left-hand side.
Look right into them and look to the bottom where the light's on the window, and then you see like this white with eyebrows. Go, no, onto the right. Aaron, go back over to the right where Alan is. There.
Yeah.
Go up a little bit. To your right, left a little bit. There, right on it then.
That?
Yeah.
That's,
No,
that's
no, next to it.
next to it.
There. I
In the
can't
middle.
point. Right. Up a little bit. Up. Let's stop. Down.
Oh,
On it now.
I can't see anything now.
I don't see anything. That's just infrared light.
I can see what she's looking at. Is that right, Jill? Dark eyes. Yeah, I can see it. Just right there, Aaron.
Ah, okay. There.
Yes, that's what Jill's.
Oh,
Is that what you're looking at, Jill?
Yeah. Yeah, that's infrared light. It's the way it's displaced on the glass.
Yeah.
That's what that is. It's just bloom. It's called bloom. Because you've got two sources of infrared light. You've got one firing at the glass. You've got one firing back at the camera. And then
So automatically it's got to hit something, hasn't it?
yeah, and then you get this ghost in here. These flares.
Yeah.
That's from the actual. See how it's curved and round like that.
Yeah.
Give you one guess why it's curved and round like that. Ian, you can't answer because you know.
It's because of the lens.
What shape's the lens?
Round.
There you go. It's a reflection of a reflection of a reflection. That's what it is.
I'm not technical at all, but I'm getting there.
It's a reflection of a reflection of a reflection.
Yeah, because you can see it.
Yeah.
And you can see one in beside that. That's the roundness and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Kat's just made a point there. In their opinion, something has been working each of you out, trying to play on your weaknesses.
Possibly, yeah.
Maybe.
Hey, Jill, don't say sorry because this is what we're here for.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, Jill,
you might see something that we didn't.
100%, and that's the whole point. Like we always like Sir Arthur Conan Doyle said, without the proving the probable, you'll never get to the conclusion of the improbable.
The probable.
Exactly.
Yeah, improbable.
Improbable.
Yeah.
We want improbable, not probable. If we can,
Yeah.
if we can get rid of the probable, and we've only got improbable, it's most likely paranormal.
Yeah.
That's the joy of investigating this stuff.
Please door for us, because I think you're quite an intelligent. Okay. I think you're.
Just jump through. Yeah, look, because you've got some there now too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's coming off. It's because Mum's moved the camera slightly.
Yeah.
And then there's the lens of the camera, that roundness.
To me, you no harm.
More REM pod.
Wow.
Is there any? Do you want me to? Oh, here we go.
Okay, Spirit, if you're in here now.
Just so you know, if an iPhone receives a text message or any sort form of notification, if I don't know why, but it fires an infrared beam, and what you're picking up there is actually not visible to the human eye. But with an infrared camera, you can pick up the flashing of the phone.
But our phones were on air mode.
It could be anything. It could be a clock, like a calendar notification. Anything at all like that. It could be 1,000,001 different things.
Definitely my phone.
You still light your phone up. That's the sort of thing.
Yeah, it fires an infrared beam out. I don't really know why it does that, but it does that.
It's
How circle? Because when we first saw it, we thought, "Oh God, my torch has come on in my pocket," because it's a circle, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's weird.
It's that little black thing there.
It looks like the torch.
I think
the torch on the back of my phone.
Yeah, I think it determines the. Well, it will look bright because it's infrared, and obviously the camera sees in infrared. But I think it determines the screen brightness. I think that's what it is. So if your phone's unlocked in your pocket, it's probably realised it's in the pitch black and trying to alter the screen brightness potentially.
Even if it's on air mode.
Even if it's on air mode, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, right, okay.
The important thing is it wouldn't interfere with the equipment.
No, not at all.
So that yeah, you're fine with that part.
Please, can you step forward?
There's a bang.
Yeah. Sounded like a footstep.
Yeah.
And that was like 2 to me.
Yeah, there is in.
There's a bang.
It's like a shuffle, isn't it? Almost like you can see that back foot.
Someone and then an echo of it, sort of thing.
Yeah, that or the jaws.
Do you want me to explain about this room?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, of course.
Di, do you want to speak? Do you want to explain the room?
Yeah. Apparently, many years ago, it was like we're well, more or less a maternity little ward thing, wasn't it, Pam?
Yeah.
Well,
it was a class as the birthing room.
Yeah.
Where they had a midwife and they used to go there to have the babies, or that horrible word that we don't use.
Abortions.
Yeah. And what Diane felt when she came in.
That was weird. I felt, well, I don't want to sound graphic, but it felt like something had touched me between my legs. And I thought I'd walked over something and not. I know I had to walk over a bucket, didn't I?
Yeah.
But the bucket wasn't as tall. It only came up to my knees, and I could feel it a bit higher up than that. You know what I mean? So that was really strange because it made me jump, and I went, "Oh my God, what have I almost sat on?" Yeah, it kind of like touched.
Was the energy different in here compared to downstairs in that other room?
I didn't feel very much in here.
I did, you see. That's where that horrible light. That horrible light came towards me, and I jumped. It was just like a black mass, like a big splodge of black paint, and it came right at me, and I absolutely jumped out my skin.
Yeah,
it was horrible. That
you did have a bad experience in there, didn't you?
Yeah.
You did.
It was strange.
To be honest
it was really
with you,
strange.
To be honest, I think you had quite a big experience in there by what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a pretty profound experience of that, Diane, to be honest with you.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you think about it, a bucket, what would they have done with a bucket? You know what I mean?
Exactly, yes, yeah.
That's what's worrying me. That would really, truly worry me. Because as you're saying how you felt, or how
then-
you were touched,
Yeah,
and they have a bucket underneath you.
yeah, exactly. It
Well, then
felt
with-
like,
Ripper
yeah.
found.
yeah,
You're potentially tapping into residual energy there as well,
Yeah,
like we were
exactly.
talking about before. That it might be, well, it's definitely 100% going to be a traumatic thing that's happened, and it's
Experience.
been
Yeah.
recorded into the fabric of the building, and perhaps
Yes.
that experience you had would be, like
Yeah.
a residual playback sort of situation,
yeah,
rather than it being intelligent. However, like Kat's just pointed out there, they could definitely hear those footsteps as well, and
yeah, good.
you do hear that shuffle.
But what was weird, Aaron, about this little room thing, it's like the attic, because obviously the roof's above you. In them days, they just nailed the tiles on, or the wooden tiles on. So there was nails about 2 inches all over the place. You
Yeah, there was.
had to watch your head.
Bloody
You
hell.
couldn't jump. You couldn't jump. But if you jumped out your skin and you started to run, you'd just skewer your head. They were probably about that long, each nail, just sticking straight through the roof, and it was quite scary to look at, because you thought, I'm gonna have to watch my head here. Well, we all had to watch our heads, even though we're only
Even me.
small.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird.
Matthew, you all look proper tired in the video. Was it that draining in the house?
I think we were tired before we went, really, weren't we? Because we
Yeah,
hadn't
we
slept
were.
very well at all.
I think.
Sorry,
go on, Mum. I keep doing
I
that
was
to you.
gonna
I'm
say-
so sorry.
That's okay. I don't mind. It was the only evening we could get, because we planned everything, didn't we? We thought
Yeah.
we were going to go on a different night, but sadly it was taken. So it was the only night we could get whilst we were in America, but before
Yeah.
us moving on to the opposite end of New York.
And the only bit I was going to add on to that bit is when you're tired, you're at your weakest level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're more susceptible to things, and I think potentially later on, obviously with what happens with Julie, I feel like because Julie's always the one that is targeted. Because I think not that she's the weakest out of all of us, but she's the one that's affected quite significantly in that respect. And I think, like the cat pointed out before, again, that there was sort of like trying to spot your weaknesses and that sort of stuff. I think that definitely happened in here because it tried to pick on you in the cellar, Mum, and you said step back, get
I
get out
did,
of my
because
personal space.
I had my senses about me. I wasn't that tired. I was going to allow somebody to step into my space and take over. It's not going to happen.
I'm going to put us into the cellar now because I feel like this is the climax of it, isn't it? This is basically what ended everything in the end.
Yeah.
Ultimately. I mean, some of the looks you're getting, Mum.
I didn't do anything wrong. Nothing.
No, but they look genuinely petrified of you. Let me find that bit where Julie looks at you like she's possessed almost. There it is.
She made me bloody jump.
Yeah.
You can hear it in your voice as well. Just find it. Where is it?
And
There
don't
we
forget,
go.
it's
There you
pitch
go,
black.
there you go.
Oh, that's a scornful look, isn't it? Definitely a scornful look.
Diane's like, meanwhile, I'm just
Getting on with it.
Where's my bed? But I genuinely, when I first watched this through, I thought Julie was going to lunge over the table and jump on top of you and like.
Yeah.
We can hear you, but we can't see you.
Oh my god, I'm just only more like you.
Oh, look at me like that.
Oh,
Why are you looking at me? Don't look at me like that, Julie.
there's a flash of light again.
No.
Julie, I've just gone
sugar.
up. I've just gone really cold here, Julie. I've got goosebumps. Don't look at me like that.
Eyes are white.
So, Kat, really concerns me this bit. I 100% agree with you. It is concerning.
Can I just interrupt, Aaron? Sorry. Janet Coconut asked a question earlier on about the light.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
We did. Yeah, so we've debunked the flashing lights.
Yeah, it's the security camera in the corner.
The only reason why that stayed in the edit where it did was because I couldn't cut it because it was like an important part that was happening. And when well, obviously we're going to bring it up in the thing. Basically, there's a security camera that's triggered by motion, and I think when Alan was rotating around the table with the camera, that was triggering the IR light to flash basically. But I don't know if it takes stills down there or what it does, but it was definitely coming from the camera.
Yes, they can watch us from wherever they are. So when we're moving, the camera's moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And just going slightly back to what the cat was saying about it concerning. It's a concerning scene, and I think if you're not used to being in those sort of environments, you don't really know how to manage the intensity of what's going on with the paranormal activity. You can get yourself in hot water, definitely.
Yes, of course you can.
And that's
yeah.
That's the point, and obviously getting Julie out of the building when they did was important to sort of to sort of cut that tether between the paranormal entity that's down there and obviously affecting Julie the way it did. I do think it was trying to toy with you, Mum, 100%. I almost feel like it was actually trying to turn everybody against you because it got quite volatile in that room in the end. Like, it wasn't just Julie that was looking. Alan's friend was looking at you.
I've got some evil looks.
Alan got a bit more sort of animated with his voice as well, and you can feel it feels like the atmosphere is just closing in.
Yeah.
And I think it tried its luck with you, Mum, and failed, and obviously it got to Julie. The cat, in my opinion...
Let's run it again.
In my opinion, Julie may have been in the process of being manipulated by darkness and evil. Quite possibly. Quite possibly. What was that?
What was that? I saw that.
No, the banging.
To the left of your mum.
No, I can hear banging.
Yeah, I can hear it too.
Fireworks, I think.
Ah, okay.
It's getting to that
Stop
season.
look at me like that. I'm trying to.
Because your eyes are white.
It's not you, Pam.
It is me. I'm here.
Alright, just stay controlled. All stay controlled and look after each other.
What do
Alan,
you
I'm always in
want?
control.
The K2's going as well. Diane, you okay?
Very cold.
You're very cold.
different.
Are you
Oh,
okay
it's
though?
like
Yeah.
So something's trying to manifest
Well, don't
around you and
manifest
over you.
on me, please.
Someone's trying to make an impression on you.
See, for me, I feel like you were exerting your dominance there a little bit, Mum, and sort of pushing back a little bit, which is a good thing because you have to show them who's boss, because if you don't, they're just gonna take you for a ride.
They will just
effectively,
take the
aren't
mickey
they?
out of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and
it would.
there's
Yeah.
been times where this has happened to me, and I've physically had to leave the investigation because I couldn't carry on. It affects you physically. It doesn't just it's not a psychological. I've been sick. We've had scratches. I've had books thrown at me in the past. Like lots of things. Ian, you've been taken over countless how many times, and obviously Ian's a lot more spiritual. He's very sort of in touch with that side of things. I try and avoid it where possible and just stick to capturing it on camera and obviously the equipment and stuff. And then you're sort of in the middle with it, Mum, and you're I feel like, not to sound horrible, but you're probably the weak one out of us four currently at the moment. And again, I've watched you go into tears and stuff in the past when you've been really dominated by whatever energies in your zone, sort of thing.
Yeah.
There was a fraction back when your mother, Judy was first looking at your mother, and you swung to the front of your mother. There was a part, just a frame or two, where it looked like she was morphing.
Okay. Do we want to go back to that?
Yeah, just a fraction. It was like 2 or 3 frames. So play it from there.
That look. but then is Julie been
Possessed.
is she been
Because
taken over there?
Look at her eyes.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Julie looks different there. That doesn't look like
doesn't
Julie.
look- No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Those eyes, it's scary.
Yeah.
Pearson.
Why
are you looking at me like that? Oh my god, Pam, you only
She looked like she was about to slap you.
Yeah.
more like you.
So there's the panny.
Have to go round to the front.
Oh,
Why are you looking at me? Don't look at me like that, Jude.
there's a flash of light again.
No.
Julie, I've just gone up. I've just gone really cold here, Julie. I've got goosebumps. Don't look at me like that.
No.
What's there? It's just like a flash, like another face imposed.
That eye looks darker.
Yeah.
I have to be careful what I'm saying here because I don't want to offend my mum.
Not going to offend me. Go for it. But you know what? This is what it's all about. What anybody feels or wants to say it.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that's what we're here for, isn't it?
Yeah.
No,
Jill,
don't keep anything back. If whatever you're feeling, tell us.
Jill, thank you very much for watching. Really, really appreciate you both. You and Peter. Thank you very much for helping us with those t-shirts and enjoy your trip to Lanzarote.
And I'll see you in the morning.
Really jealous. And then the cat, fascinating subject. A spirit is messing with Julie's mind. 100%. 100% the cat. I really do feel like that's potential. Well, like I say, you see in the end of the episode, you see what happens.
I don't think I was being taken over, Alan. I think that Ian, sorry. I think that is just.
I think they tried the luck with you, and I don't think you let them in.
No, I won't let them in.
No, I think it shifted back.
Yeah, it's just like a face imposed itself and disappeared.
Your eye does look darker there, which is interesting because he's shining the camera at you, and I can't see any infrared light coming back.
No.
But I don't want to read too much into it, eh?
It's like a frame or two, it just sort of went past, sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't look at me like that. I'm trying.
The eyes are normal.
Because your eyes are white.
See?
Yeah, they look big though.
Yeah.
They look rather the light.
Go back a frame or two.
Yeah, I've got goosebumps. Don't look at me like that.
No, eyes are white.
Like there, they look really black. Again, it could be manipulation of the light potentially.
Possibly. But what I saw was a whole facial change.
Don't look at me like that. I'm trying to...
Second.
Like there, look at the size of your pupils. Like not your pupils, the whatever the coloured bit's called.
The irises.
Irises, yeah.
Yeah. It's big, that.
Yeah.
Well, then you are jet lagged as well.
Yeah, I'm tired.
You look like a man's face, just briefly, boom, gone.
Anthony's saying you can see a man in the mirror, in the window.
Where are we looking then? So, is there any windows down here? What, that one?
Yeah, that's a window.
Is that the one we're talking about, Anthony?
That's the only one. Thanks, Diane. Love you too.
Agreed, Pam does look different. Yeah, do you know what, Mum? The more I'm looking at that, I think I agree. You do look a little bit different.
Let's see if we can hear it again.
It's only a frame or two, and that was it.
Yeah, Anthony said this window.
That's the only window in there.
You can hear that now?
Yeah, it was.
Just done it again.
Charles. Is your name Charles?
The anger in Julie's voice.
We can hear you, but we can't see you.
That worries me, that look. Her eyes look glazed over.
Yeah.
They look grey.
Well, the pupils are white as well. Like
Yeah.
I mean, obviously that could be the infrared light, but
It could be threatening a reflection, but then normally comes up as red, doesn't it?
Yeah, because.
Are you looking at
Diane, that looks scary. That it does to me.
Me like that.
Yeah. Oh my god, Pam, you don't even look like you.
Janet Sweeney, Mr. Spock.
Oh.
Why are you looking at me? Don't look at me like that, Jude.
There's a flash of light again.
No.
Julie, I've just gone up. I've just gone really,
keep your eyes for the window.
really cold here, Julie. I've got goosebumps. Don't look at me like that.
No, eyes are white.
Don't look at me like that. I'm trying to.
Because your eyes are white. It's not you, Pam.
It is me. I'm here.
Alright, just stay controlled. All stay controlled and look after each other.
What do you want?
K2's going as well. Diane, you
We
okay?
do get some EVPs in here as well.
Very cold.
You're very cold. Are you okay
It's
though?
like yeah.
So something's trying to manifest
Well, don't
around you and
manifest
over you.
on me, please.
Someone's
You
trying
did-
to make an impression.
You 100% did the right thing there, Mum, by the way. That's how I would have approached that scenario.
I felt awful interrupting him, but I just had to say, whoever you are,
No.
step back.
100%, and that's how we've always
Absolutely.
we've always been. You have to show them who's boss.
Again, they mean you no harm, they come with respect.
And
Heard that. Heard that.
and you know what? Every time.
Question is that male or female? I can't decipher.
I
between the
get
two.
it sounds like a male to me.
Wait, rest of you guys, Ian, Di.
Um, so,
I'm
yeah,
not sure.
And you know what? Every time
could
I think
be
it's
a
a man.
man. Could be a man, yeah.
say you're sitting. Oh, camera's here. The camera's there, but it's not flashing.
Okay.
The reason why you've just said them on the camera's there, but it's not flashing, you wouldn't see that camera flashing with your own eyes. You'd only
No,
see it
you wouldn't. No, I
with
know.
the camera. With Alan looking through that camera screen, that he's seen the flash, probably not realised. Yeah. So that's what
infrared.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say I'm 99% certain on that one.
No, we didn't say ourselves afterwards, didn't we?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll let you and Di.
Camera, I need the camera, I can't see. She's gone more.
Well,
Okay, stop. Well, first of all, it was pitch black. I couldn't see because I had the camera, and I'm thinking, I'm going to bloody fall here. I don't usually carry this in the dark. I'm not good with the dark. Everybody knows why. And literally, to have the camera in this dark, and then Alan Saren tell me to hurry up. Go on, Aaron.
it was a bit of a spooky moment, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Because
it was.
Julie, she just fled, and we weren't sure where she'd gone. So we all ran up the stairs, and Alan found her in the kitchen, literally attached to the. Was it the cooker she was held onto?
Or
at
the
sink?
side or something, wasn't it?
Something, wasn't
Yeah.
it? So
Yeah.
managed to get her outside, but it looked like, well, it sounded and looked like that something had definitely attached itself to Julie.
Yeah.
But it was very interesting, that part of scary, but interesting.
It was. Before, I'm not frightened of the dark, everyone. The fact is, I went blind a few years ago, and it's psychological. And because I had something on my hand, the floor wasn't straight. I was frightened I was going to fall. So it's not fact I'm frightened of the dark.
If the floor's not even as well, do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
definitely
no
good.
understand, Aaron.
Yeah, it wasn't
No.
even at all.
And then just to add my sort of 2 pennies into this situation again, I wasn't there, but I know Julie very, very well, and for her to just wander off in that house, knowing what that house is and the history behind it, she wouldn't do it.
No,
She
exactly.
wouldn't do it unless something startled her the way it had done. There's no way on hell's earth she's running off like that in that house.
No.
And she did. She went hell for leather with it.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't find her.
Walk about.
No.
Alan, she's gone for a walkabout. She's gone.
She's gone. She's completely gone.
Julie, where are you? Julie, where is she?
I can hear the panic in your voice at that point, Mum. Not about wandering in the dark and all that sort of stuff, but actually what's going on with Julie. 'Cause,
Yeah. Oh,
you know, she's clearly going through something there.
There's a strange noise there, like a heavy breath.
Right, keep the call.
Yeah, again, because there's so much going on there, I know exactly what you're talking about there, but because
it's easy picked up. Yeah.
Yeah, because I couldn't, because there was so much going on, I didn't want to decipher it as necessarily paranormal.
The cat. In my opinion, Julie had a spirit messing with her mind.
Yeah, yeah,
Possibly.
100%.
The way she was looking at you, Pam, possibly.
That look, that's
Yeah.
not. Yeah, it didn't even look like Julie at all. Like her eyes were different.
Yeah.
And I feel like if it could have sort of stuck its claws into you, Mum, a little bit more than it did, I think it would have affected you just as bad. I think you were able to repel that situation a little bit.
Yeah.
And I tell you one thing for certain, I'm really glad I wasn't there at that point, because it would have got me.
It would have got you alive.
I'd have been long gone. You just see the smoke of my footsteps. I'd have been gone.
Just
You'd have
keep your
been sat in the
protection up,
car.
you'll be fine.
Yeah.
That will be me at the Stanley Hotel.
Yeah, and then Janet's just said pure evil, and I have to agree with her. That was that point when we were sat editing through this, Mum. That was when I said to you, there's something dark going on in that house, and that was what made me think that more than anything else. I mean, even there, you can see on Julie's face, she's somewhere else. She's not
out of it.
No, she's not there. She's
still in it.
Yeah. And that's why it's very important to get her off the threshold of that property for a minute, just to break it.
Yeah.
Diane, love your honesty, Aaron. Thanks. Yeah. Anthony, Julie's face looks like the devil there.
Oh dear.
Yeah, you can tell something's messing with her.
Yeah.
You can tell something's messing with her.
Yeah.
And I do feel bad that she seems to be the tuning fork to some of the more dodgy stuff. But at the same time, I've been in her shoes and I know what it's like, and it's horrible, and it's really difficult to even try and rationalize it, because it's not necessarily a psychological thing, because you know exactly what you're going into. It hits you just hits you hard. It does. It hits you hard.
Camera going.
I'm just dead hot.
Just come outside.
Here.
And you'll find once she's off the boundaries of the property, and got fresh air and sort of stuff, and sort of cut that tether a little bit, she'll be mostly fine. But usually it drains her off, doesn't it? And she's very sort of not very responsive after that, which again is typical of a possession of any kind.
Cool.
Well, literally, as she was walking outside, she was literally stripping off because she was burning up.
Yeah.
So a bum bag round her waist, she threw that. We had to go looking for that. She took her jumper off because she was burning up, and it was bizarre. It was just really strange, strange.
Hang on.
Julie.
Hang on. How's your back?
Right.
How's your back?
Look, she's took her top off. She's only got a t-shirt on now.
It was literally burning.
Okay, just keep breathing.
There's a little one here. Little scratch.
Fortunately, you can't see the scratch.
No, you can't see it.
Infrared's rubbish for that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Go on, Mum.
I was just going to say I didn't see anything because of the camera, but Di's right on top of her there, so
yeah. I mean, there's always a possibility that the scratch is self-inflicted from something completely not paranormal related.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just
could have been the chairs.
It's very fitting that all that stuff happens, and then she comes out. She says her back's hot, and she feels pain there, and there's a little scratch there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see it?
There. There.
Okay. Okay, then. Right. Okay. Julie tends to get actually very open sometimes, but she's literally just left the room, ran a table, and gone in complete darkness. No one knew where she went, and she's found a staircase, and she's moved right out.
Yeah.
I couldn't move her in the back kitchen. She was stuck to the kitchen. Her arms length. I had to drag her until to get out.
And for those that don't know, Alan and Julie are actually cousins. So I mean, Alan knows Julie better than all of us, and he's just said the same things. He's wandering through what is supposedly America's most haunted building on her own without a care in the world, just to get the hell out of there because of how she's feeling. So
that by itself on this scale.
She's got outside to get a breathe. She's actually been attacked again, but this whatever's been on top of her since we've gone to this room, it keeps pressing on her. It's trying to.
Just brought Julie back into the house because we had to get her out because something attacked her down in the cellar. But as I brought her into the house, she started mumbling. I don't know what she was saying, and I asked it to step away, and I said, please get away from her. And then it attacked me. It was like somebody had thrown a pile of dust down my throat and it was trying to shut me up. I couldn't breathe.
That was scary. That, to be fair.
Yeah,
I remember.
I'm really gutted
Yeah.
we don't have that on film, because that would have been the perfect sort of ending to that whole night.
Exactly, because because Pam, you were still in the garden with Alan when that happened to me, and I couldn't get my breath.
I saw you when I walked in.
Yeah, I'd gone white, hadn't I? Because I couldn't get my breath.
That's why I put the camera back on, just to make sure that I had what you experienced documented.
Yeah, because it was like someone had thrown, like, like almost like a Hoover bag, the dust from a Hoover bag in my face, and I just I couldn't breathe at all. It was horrible.
No, not good at all.
Good evidence, I suppose.
There we go, guys. That is the Conjuring house. What's the official name for the place? Is there a name for it? Obviously not.
I think
the
it's
Conjuring house.
no, it's not the Conjuring house. I think it's classed as the Arnold Farm.
Arnold
I think
Farm.
so, yeah.
The Arnold House, farmhouse or something. The owners from years ago.
Well, there we go,
The house
guys.
on the hill or something like that. Yeah, it's in Harrisville.
Is it the most haunted building you've ever been in your life?
Nah.
What's worse? What's worse, there or the Falstaff? That first experience we had at the Falstaff.
The Falstaff, I felt intimidated. I felt like somebody wanted to push me down the stairs.
Bear in mind, there's probably 6,000 years difference in history.
Yeah. Take me back there again, not tired, and to spend longer there.
Yeah. I like Ian's idea of sleeping in the bed.
I don't know about sleep on the bed.
I'm not volunteering to do it. I'll let Ian do it. But I like the idea.
You do have it from 8 at night till 8 in the morning.
Yeah.
And we did survive the night. And we did have a lot happening, but obviously some of it's not showable. And I've got to say, yeah, I do think it definitely is haunted, 100 million %. And I think there's a lot more to come out of that nicely.
Yeah.
I think it's haunted based on what I've seen and how it's affected everybody.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And going back to Lorraine again, maybe I felt different because that's what she said. Some people can live there, some people can't.
Yeah, some are susceptible to it more than others. Sort of situation.
Yes.
It says that for most places, doesn't it?
Yeah, but if people are getting taken over, do they not know? And that's why they think they're normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
No, go on.
I was going to say, there's something been bothering me all evening watching this clip. Is the energy from a certain party. A certain party was bringing that energy in, and if somebody's not normally with you.
Okay.
I mean,
that's
the thing. Like, obviously, when a dynamic changes, the energy will definitely change, and
100%.
But it's not necessarily a bad thing in terms of
there was just
manifesting paranormal, energy.
Yeah. There was just something I picked up on early on with Demeania. What she was doing, perhaps. I think she was encouraging darker forces.
Okay.
Why? Because I don't know. Just the impression I was getting from her. I may be entirely wrong. It's difficult to say when you're looking at a video, but
yeah,
when you can look at people's demeanour and see, if you like, body language and facial expression and what appears to be what she was doing behind the scenes, so to speak. I don't know. I felt that was part of the contributing factor.
I've never seen Julie's face like that ever. Never seen Julie's face like that ever.
No, it was scary.
I think the best thing to do at this situation is leave it on a massive cliffhanger and just promise ourselves that if we can get back there and do more, then we go back there and we do more if it's at all possible. Mm-hmm. But guys, everybody at home, we can't thank you all enough for joining us on what has
Okay,
been another good evening.
Yeah, can I just stop there? Another cracking episode. Thanks, Anthony. But the cat said I agree with Ian. So that's good.
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, I can't say anything because I wasn't there. All I can say is what I do agree with is when that basement scene, that whole scene, there was something off about that whole situation.
I did
Your
feel
face-
like between the two ladies, I did feel like I was being evil looks.
But
I
then-
really, really did.
But that's atypical of possession type hauntings.
Yeah, it
Look
is.
at the Amityville horror case where the guy basically shoots his whole family.
Okay, Aaron. Thank
Sorry
you.
to scare you, but it is atypical of that style of haunting. It's manipulation, constant manipulation, and obviously at the time you were also jet lagged. You probably didn't even notice, and it'll have just crept in like bloody. You know.
I did see Julie, but I didn't realise I was getting evils from both directions.
Definitely.
All directions. Yeah.
Definitely.
And it was not just them, because we've been right through the edit and it's all night long.
Yeah.
I can just you can see the eyes just piercing at me all night.
Yeah.
They didn't leave my side.
No.
And it was just a bit creepy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The cat.
We do have a contact email. It's s.p.i@hotmail.co.uk. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit. We're everywhere. We're literally everywhere.
The email will come through to me, Kat.
But no, I'm yeah. Again, guys, everybody that's been in the chat tonight, everybody who watched it when we premiered the episode, couldn't thank you enough for the support.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We really hope you enjoyed it, and there's some good stuff coming in the future.
Yeah, for the next 2 weeks, it's going to be Southport, the Royal Arcade.
My hometown.
Pardon?
My hometown.
Yeah, born and bred there, same as you, Di. And it was quite nice to be welcomed to Southport, because that's where we were born and bred. And there's so many places in Southport I would love to do. The main one is Botanic Museum.
Yeah.
You know what? That was our playground. That was our every Saturday, Sunday afternoon. We were there evenings. That's where we lived and bred, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that means that's sadly going, isn't it?
I'd love to get in there before they pull it down.
I know. Let's
the
hope there's somebody.
We're always looking for places, so definitely send us an email and we'll talk to you.
Yes,
definitely
please.
off stream. That'd be awesome.
You're most welcome to ring me as well. I can send you my phone number.
Yeah.
Not a problem at all. Well, on that note, is it haunted? I definitely think so. I'll
think
give
it's
that
haunted.
a big thumbs up.
Yeah,
And thank you
definitely.
again to the lovely owners of Jennifer for letting us do this little episode over at the Conjuring.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Good night.
Thanks for watching,
Thank you.
guys.
Good night.
See you
Bye-bye.
later. Bye.
Bye. Bye.